What's up guys, it's Jordy here for Cinecom.net and welcome to Creative Tuesday. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make your own little food tutorial video, and we're going to make a cute little vegetable car like this one right here. It's going to be a mix of stop motion effects together with real video, so let's swing into it. Now before we start guys, I'd first like to thank Rocket Stock for sponsoring today's episode. And they've recently launched a brand new pack called Yum, which is a collection of more than 120 video elements that you can use in your next food video. You can find fun transitions in there, lower thirds, even animated characters, and so much more. To find out more about this pack, make sure to click the first link in the description below, and if you scroll a little bit further, you can also locate a download link where you can get several assets completely for free. We're going to start off with building this set, and that is basically a white surface but also a white background, because we are going to attach a camera on top right here somewhere, which is going to give this top view, but we're also going to mix that with a second camera angle, which is going to be a little bit lower, and that's why we're also going to need a white background. Now these are simple foam boards that you can find in any store, and the nice thing about these foam boards is that they are pretty white, of course, and relative cheap, and also very lightweight. Now you can also go for any other white surface, whatever is at your disposal. You don't even have to go for white. You can also have like a very nice wooden background or table or anything like that. Be creative with this. Next up is the lighting, and I'm actually going to go for two soft boxes right here, which is going to keep the lighting pretty flat, but it's also going to make sure that the entire scene is more cleaner. And I really like that with this white background, the colors of the vegetables will really come out nice. So we have just attached the Canon 5D Mark II up to a C-stand, which allowed us to have it hang above the scenery, and that way we have a nice top shot. We also have attached into it a USB cable that goes to our computer right here, and on that PC we have installed the EOS utility software from Canon, which you get with your camera if you buy one, and that actually allows us to simply take a picture with the software and have it have a nice view of it right here. And that way we don't have to touch the camera and don't have any wiggling of that. You know, we can all control it through this software. So here are the vegetables. These are going to be our subjects. We got some nice carrots in here, some mushrooms and everything. And we're going to create this nice little car that you've seen in the beginning. So we're going to make photos of these actions right here. And the reason for that is we want to go for this stop motion look. It's very important if you are going to make a food tutorial that everything goes fast. There are certain actions like peeling the carrot and everything, which are just not interesting for the audience. People know how to peel a carrot, so don't show those things. Focus on the important things. And if you want to make more details of certain actions, we're actually going to work with a second camera, which we're going to bring in later to show those things. And that way we can kind of mix stop motion together with normal video. Now to know which field that we have where we're going to film in, I'm actually going to tape that off with some tape, of course. And that way we know where the action can start. I'm looking at the live view currently. So we're right here. And then I also know that, for example, once we're going to take pictures of this carrot, which is going to roll in, that we don't have to start making pictures right here, but that we can start somewhere right there. So let's start now with making pictures of this carrot right here. What I'm going to do is move this carrot a couple of inches forward, and every time as I do so, Janik is going to capture a picture of that. So, like I was saying, sometimes I move my hand into the framing so that Janik can focus, only focus on that. Then I move my hand back out of the framing, and then he snaps a picture. But Janik has a really hard time understanding that. You know, every time I move my hand into it, he just gets the feeling to make a picture of that. Janik, focus! So what I'm going to do right now is peel the carrots, but we're not going to film that. This is something that your audience knows how that works. You just peel it, so we don't have to show that. If you want to make a rhythmic montage, you can just cut that out. But we do have to make sure that once I'm going to peel the carrot, that it's going to lay back on that exact same position. So that's why I'm going to mark the carrot first, again, with some tape here. And that way I know where I have to lay it back. So something like this. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you do want to try to get it in that same spot the best you can. Now, usually you can't take all of your pictures from that top shot. Some things like putting this cherry tomato right here on top of that carrot requires a side shot. So for that, we've got the GH5 over there, and that is going to film while we're going to do that. So that way we can kind of mix a stop motion feel to it together with video. So let's do that right now. So those were the last pictures, guys. So look how cute this little vegetable car is. It kind of reminds me on Toad from Mario Kart, but that doesn't matter. Let's take all the pictures, all the shots that we have, and let's head over to the editing room. Come on, Janik, the editing room. So bringing your video files into Adobe Premiere Pro is not that hard, of course, but your photos is. Definitely if you've shot them all in a RAW format. For that, we first need to process them through Adobe Photoshop, and Janik is about to do that right now. We've actually selected all of our shots and dragged them into Photoshop, which will open them all up at once. And after that, you can select all your photos and start doing your color correction onto it with the Photoshop RAW plugin. The important here is that you're going to go for a fresh look, definitely if you're going to work with that white background, and also that your vegetables colors are going to be pretty vivid. That way they kind of look nice and clean and also tasty, of course. And then finally, when you're done playing with the sliders, you can go all the way to the bottom and click on Save Images. And then you got a bunch of options to where you want to save it, the format and everything. And we're going to go for the JPEG format right here. Because we're just doing this for YouTube, it's not that important that we're going to retain that raw quality. But if you're going to scroll a little bit more down, you will also see the option to change the size of your image. And that is important, definitely if you are going to work with very high resolution shots. You might want to bring this back to a 4K or maybe an HD resolution, and that way it's going to work easier inside Premiere. Now before we are going to drag all of our JPEG images into Premiere, we are first going to change a setting under the Edit on top of the menu. Click on that, then head over to Preferences and click on Timeline on the bottom. Then in that setting, you want to locate Still Image Default Duration and first of all change it to frames, and then you want to set it to somewhere around 2. And then just press OK. And now you can go to your Explorer and drag all of your shots or all of those JPEG images into Premiere Pro. And you will then see once you are going to select all of your shots and bring them into the timeline, they will have a default duration of 2 frames. And now you can continue to finalize your video. Simply paste your shots next to each other, add your favorite music to it, and perhaps some titles. We are also going to use some elements from a Yum pack from Rocketstock to it to make it a little bit more dynamic. So while Janik is going to finalize the result, after that we're going to take a look at the final result. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you Rocketstock for sponsoring us today. And like always, stay creative. Miauw, miauw. Allee, kom, doet je camera weg. Dat is mijn opwarmingsoefening. Miauw, miauw. Allee, doet de camera weg. Ja?